What's up, Dallas Cowboys fans? IndyCar Tim here with your Dallas Cowboys Daily Blitz on the Fish Report YouTube channel. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Appreciate everybody subscribing, liking the videos, leaving us some great comments. Find me on Twitter at IndyCar Tim. Find Fish over there at Fish Sports. The show is at Cowboys Daily Pod. I think that's it. It's been a while since I touted that one out there. I want to talk a little bit about the Cowboys off seasons, the most recent off season, the current off season. I want to talk about the lack of, pursuit of players that the Cowboys have had. And they've had some head-scratching moves and some head-scratching not moves for sure this offseason. I've got three players here that I think the Cowboys should have gone after in free agency. And the fact that they didn't and still have holes here, I don't know what direction the team thinks they're going here. So let's get into it. Today's episode is always brought to you by BetUS, BetUS.com. Bet with a 3-decade leader in online sports betting. BetUS. Join today with our promo code for 125% cash bonus using DSP125, or if you like to bet with crypto, DSP200 for a 200% crypto bonus. Bet horses, sports, pop culture, and more at BetUS.com. Thank you, BetUS. So we know the Cowboys have lost some offensive linemen, some by choice. Well, actually, probably two by choice, both by choice. As Connor Williams, who we know the team probably wasn't too interested in keeping around anyway, has gone off to Miami. We know that the team cut Lyle Collins, who is now applying his craft over there in Cincinnati, protecting Joe Burrow. And you would have thought with that happening, the Cowboys would have been interested in sort of revamping their offensive line a little bit, replenishing it, adding some depth. Because as it stands now, I don't know if you guys have looked at the depth chart recently, but here's your depth chart for the offense. The depth chart, don't call me when I'm on the air, Fish, come on. The depth chart as it stands now is at left guard, you have Conor McGovern. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not too terribly interested in Conor McGovern being my left guard. I don't know, ever. Much less the starting left guard with no backup. Literally, he's the only left guard on the depth chart right now. I talked about this at length on another podcast a few days ago. Also wrote a story over at Cowboys SI regarding this. Left tackle, Tyrant Smith. Tyrant Smith's 31 years old. He's missed 14 games in 6 games the last 2 seasons. After missing only 1 in his first 5. We know that age is catching up with him. Injuries are catching up with him. It's time to replace Tyrant Smith, or at least start thinking about it. At least have his replacement here. As it stands now, Josh Ball is his only backup at the left tackle spot. Josh Ball, the same Josh Ball, the 4th-round pick out of Marshall last year, who missed the entire season due to injury and who is still hurt and probably won't be ready for camp. That's your option behind Tyrant Smith right now. And no options behind Conor McGovern. That alarms me. I don't know about you guys. That alarms me. So let's talk about one guy that was out there that the Cowboys could have gotten really on the cheap. And that is Mark Glowinski, who's now with the rival Giants, previously of the Colts. We know the Cowboys are a little strapped for cash. We get it. We don't blame them for not signing Von Miller. I don't blame them for not signing Von Miller. We'll get into the linebacker position here in a minute, by the way. And we don't blame them for letting Collins go. We don't blame them for letting Williams go, because for what both of those guys got, see, Williams 2 years over $14 million, Collins 5 years worth $50 million. Mike Lewinsky went to the NFC East rival New York Giants for 3 years and $20 million. Mustache hair bothering me. 3 years, $20 million. That was certainly, and by the way, he's a good player. He's a good guard. Certainly better than Conor McGovern. If you wanted to have Conor McGovern around as a backup, so be it. He could back up Glowinski all day long. Glowinski is a 7-year veteran. He's versatile. He's durable. 6'4", 310 pounds. He has experience on both sides of the line at left guard and right guard. He started 59 games, or he played in 59 games in the last 4 years. Started all but 4. The guy's durable, and you need some durability here on this Cowboys offensive line. And the Cowboys, from what I understand, didn't even make a run at him, and he was out there for a little while. And now he's with the Giants. 29 years old, would have brought some experience. You know, we understand you're going to draft some young players probably on the offensive line, and he would have been a good guy to help tutor some of those guys along. But Mike Glowinski, nope, not interested, Cowboys. I'd like an explanation. Our next guy, somebody that I know all of you guys are familiar with, as he wanted to be here in Dallas. He publicly said he wanted to play in Dallas. He would have been affordable for the Cowboys and visited with the Cowboys, yet he's not a Cowboy. He's a Ram. I speak, of course, of Bobby Wagner, the guy that everybody wanted here. Would have been a huge upgrade over Leighton Vander Esch. Would have loved to have seen Bobby Wagner and Micah Parsons next to each other at linebacker. Again, he openly admitted he wanted to be here in Dallas. I don't think Dallas thought they could afford him. And yes, he's 31. But man, he wanted to play here. He wanted to play with Dan Quinn again. He wanted to play next to Micah Parsons. He was motivated to play here. Guy played all 16 games last season. He's durable. And yet the Cowboys thought $6.5 million was too much for Bobby Wagner. Again, I don't blame them for not signing Von Miller. Quite honestly, I'd probably rather have Bobby Wagner anyway. You're not going to have him for as long, but yeah. So they couldn't even $6.5 million, and they couldn't do that. So I mean, if you're familiar with his contract that he signed with the Rams, it's a $6.5 million cap hit this year, $10 million next year, and then they've got 4 voidable seasons, so they could spread some of that cap money out. Cowboys could have done that. But yet now we're going to roll out there Micah Parsons, Leighton Vander Esch, Jabril Cox, who I think will probably be a fine player if he can stay healthy. Be better Leighton Vander Esch, that's for sure. And we're going to roll Leighton Vander Esch out there. And again, to the linebacker position, again, you didn't go out and get Bobby Wagner because he was $6.5 million, and that's too much for you to spend. That's fine. There was somebody else out there that will be significantly cheaper, great player, available. That's Kazir White. I don't know how many of you are familiar with Kazir White, but he's an excellent young linebacker. He would have satisfied that bargain bin desire, I don't know, Dollar Tree budget, whatever you want to call it, of Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones. I'm going to start saying Stephen Jones because I think Jerry Jones has very little to do with these personnel moves anymore these days. This is all Stephen. But man, Kazir White's, he's improved every year he's been in the league in the last 4 years with the Chargers. He's doubled his tackling stats every year, going from 17 to 40 to 77 to 144 last season. And he is now a Philadelphia Eagle. Again, both of these guys, 2 of these guys that I loved have gone to division rivals now. He also had 2 picks last year, 2 forced fumbles, 1 sack. And 1-year deal, $5 million. That's cheap for a guy that I think is a breakout linebacker. And the Cowboys weren't into it. By the way, out of that $3 million is guaranteed. That's it. That's how much the Cowboys are paying Brian Anger, the punter, by the way. So I'm a little confused. Sorry those videos run a little bit long. I'm a little confused. You guys help me out. What the Cowboys are doing. Please tell me what the Cowboys are doing, because I right now have zero idea. I have zero clue. But I'm long-winded today. My apologies. We'll make it shorter next time. I'm IndyCar10. Find me on Twitter. Leave us a comment. Subscribe to Fish the channel. We appreciate you. We love you guys. And we'll do it all again tomorrow with some more Cowboys talk. Until then, we'll see you.